Questions on public speaking? Yeah, I'll just tell you this. I mean, what's the specific question?
I just want to know how to do it well.
How to do it well? Well, there's a couple things. A, practice.
Yeah.
Right? Get over your fear. I'll tell you just a quick aside. The 12-year internship program, it wasn't a 12-year program, it was a program we had for 12 years. It was a 4-month program that we ran for 12 years. It required the participants to get up in front of the room and give 4 presentations. Why? What's that have to do with health? What's it have to do with living a full life? What if you don't want to be a public speaker? My goal was to help people get beyond fear, to get people to face their fears and act in spite of them so that fear stopped controlling their actions. Okay, so why public speaking? Because most people are more afraid of that than almost anything else. Honestly, I never was. That was never an issue for me. It wasn't something I had to get over. But it is for most people. And so one of the ways to get over it is to practice. There are, in most cities around the world now, you can find, what's it called? There's a speaking organization, you probably know it. Toastmasters. Yeah, join a Toastmasters club. If you've not heard of it, look, Google it, you'll find it. Toastmasters, they're clubs where people go and you get to practice public speaking. I actually helped start one at my university. And it was cool. It was fun. I mean, I enjoyed it. Some people were terrified, but I just thought it was fun. The second key, I think, is to really, really know your material. If you're not that confident with speaking or with your material, then have an outline, but don't write it on a piece of paper.
Right.
Cards, 1 word, 2 words. You should be able to glance at it, put the card underneath. That 1 or 2 words should remind you what you need to say next, and that's all.
Yeah.
You don't want to try to read a long thing that tells you what to say. I mean, you can read a script, but years ago, I went to my first, 27 and a half years ago, I went to my first natural hygiene conference. And there was a man who was going to be speaking there that I was super excited to hear speak. Indian descent, lived in the UK, and he'd written this encyclopedic book that it was like the Bible at the time. And I was so excited to hear him speak. And he got up on stage where there was a lectern. He stood behind a lectern, and he looked down and he said, "When you have nothing to hide, the light of your conscious attention is no longer." He read the whole thing. There was no intonation. It was like complete monotone. And I swear to you that after about 10 minutes, I had to get up and leave because it was too painful to listen to. And it was sad because this guy had so much to share. In fact, it was a really powerful lesson for me. Some of you might have noticed I tend to be a little bit sarcastic. Sorry if that rubs you the wrong way, but it just comes with the package. But one of the things I realized a long time ago was that humor is really important. And I mean, I understand that no matter how important what I have to say might be, if I can't keep your attention, it's not going to help you. Right? So I've understood that for me, speaking, it's really about entertaining people. Hopefully, are you guys entertained? You having fun at these lectures? Hopefully you are. Hopefully I make them fun, and that's the idea, is to make sure that there's tons of great information, but it's delivered in a way that's fun and light and sometimes surprising and sometimes might even offend you a little bit. That's okay, as long as you're paying attention. I don't mind. Okay, that's the key. If you're not paying attention, if I lose you, then you're not getting any benefit. Okay, by the way, if you find your buttons being pushed, right, then I'll tell you what sometimes happens. We talk about diet next week, and there's sometimes people who come in like, they're not really open to changing their diet. And as soon as I start talking about diet, they go sitting over there on the other end of the pool during the lecture because they don't want to hear what I have to say. If you're finding your buttons being pushed, sit in the front row, okay? Be engaged. Allow it in. When you leave here, you get to do whatever you want, but you are never, ever going to learn and grow if you don't allow conflicting information to come in. If you insist on just only taking in what you already agree with, how's that going to ever help you? Okay, a lot of people do that. I mean, think about it. Who goes to the Democratic national conventions in the U.S.? Democrats. Okay? People don't go there to get their minds changed. That's what usually happens. I mean, people are going to hear what they already agree with. I love to talk to people who don't already get what I'm saying. I actually get to see the light bulbs go off. That's cool. It's, it's fun. I travel and speak. I've often got a room of raw vegans. I'll speak at raw vegan restaurants, right? And they mail to their client list and a bunch of people who come who already understand it. It's like, okay, that's good. Hopefully I'm probably helping them shift in subtle ways, improve what they're doing, understand better, get them more motivated. But I'd be happy to go speak at a McDonald's. I mean, I'm not sure anyone there would be open to listening, but if they were, that'd be good.
You gotta open up your eyes. You gotta open up and take a breath and let the light out. And let it take you